every one of our listeners, including everyone in this room, has done one time. Every single person.
How about Joe? Do you think Joe did it?
100%.
All right.
Everybody has done this. Who was the child actor? And unethical life hacks. All this week on
Jim Joe Steve Show.
Hello, and welcome back to Jim Joe Steve. Came in hot there. Hot mic.
If you weren't awake, you are
You
now.
are now. Welcome back to Jim Joe Steve Show. I am Steve.
I'm Jim.
And this is technically not the Jim Joe Steve Show because we're missing one key
Where
part of it.
Where in the world is Joe San Diego?
Yes. So this is going to be called Jim and Steve's Inappropriate Podcast.
Jim and Steve's Inappropriate Podcast.
Inappropriate.
I did the sound effect for you, so you don't
All
have
right.
to add it
Oh,
up. So.
making my job easy.
Yeah, I know. It was a huge week in the fashion world.
Tell me about this.
It was the Met Gala this week.
You know,
Are you familiar with the Met Gala? at all?
I have to confess, I am not. Bring me up to speed with the old Met Gala.
I asked my wife this information because I had no clue, and I was like, maybe I'll talk about it. So you have to get invited to the Met Gala.
Okay.
Like you can't buy tickets to it. You know,
Is it just for movie stars, musicians, or just any famous person?
It's more like for the fashion world, but then they include like, you know, just
give it some
really
legitimacy.
famous people and,
Okay.
and all that shit.
To make it a hoopla.
Yeah. So it is done by, and I don't know her name because I forgot.
Excellent.
But
podcasting.
it is, I know, but it is, her name really doesn't matter. So.
Oh, we're all about facts here. Intern, who started the Met Gala? Eleanor Lambert. Does that ring a bell? The founder of the Met Gala.
I think
that's
probably what it is.
And it's organized by Vogue.
I think that's the woman from
the Met Gala. Okay.
Yeah, Lambert.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that. If the intern's wrong, well, then we will fire them.
It sounds good enough for me. But yeah, so she has to invite you to it. They give you a theme, and you have to dress towards.
Is the whole Met Gala a theme, or is it every person gets their own theme?
So it's like there's a theme of the event.
Oh, okay.
And you do it. So the reason I had any interest in it actually at all is because my daughter, it was like down the street from where she goes to school.
Right.
So she went over and tried to take pictures of people like showing up and things like that. So people were dressed up like cats. Like Jared Leto was like a furry.
Okay. You know, I did see a clip of some lady interviewing another lady on the red carpet, and she was just meowing.
Can you guess who that was?
No, because I was like,
she's a rapper, I think.
I don't know, Nicki Minaj.
You're gonna feel dumb as soon as you hear it. You want to think of another modern
Doja
rapper?
Cat?
You got it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, where she, and then somebody else was a fucking cat. Lil Nas X was a cat.
Of course he was.
Yeah, but it's so funny how like that. So there's two things in New York where they do that. They do the Met Gala where everybody does that. They have this thing called like the 100. My daughter went to both of them, and like they were getting pictures with like Michael B. Jordan and like the guy who won Best Supporting Actor for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like they could just meet the people because that was like real close to their school. But it's just like weird how. And then there's this one, which is of course it's like the one everybody knows,
Of course.
and you can't fucking get
That's always exciting. I guess that's one of the perks of living in New York.
I guess so. What's the biggest celebrity you ever met?
I think we talked about it on this podcast.
Did we?
Was Biz Markie.
Oh yeah, we did do that. So.
Like in the wild, you know.
Yeah. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, it was Janine.
Yeah.
It was Janine. We did meet Steve Buscemi. Were you there when we met Steve Buscemi?
But
we didn't really meet him. We walked we walked past
Yeah.
him, and I was looking down, and when I looked up, you guys were all like, Steve Buscemi just walked by, and I was like, I saw the back of his head, and I was like, motherfucker.
I guess I'm just never in a place where you see celebrities. So I'm never on a lookout for celebrities. Just think about how many actors are in like Netflix shows that are successful actors would be in this scenario would be that's how they make their living, just acting. They don't waitress or something. And they're in Netflix shows or Hulu. I don't fucking know any of them.
Yeah, that is true.
You know?
I always think like there's a select few.
It's
people
top
that,
tier A-list
that I would
celebrities that you would recognize.
Yeah.
And even them, they've kind of perfected the art of disguise.
Incognito,
Yeah,
yeah.
so unless they actually are going out to want, I guess open to the fans to recognize them. Most of them you don't even know.
Yeah, I saw a picture of like Chris Hemsworth at Target shopping with his kids. Like somebody took a picture of him like doing the self checkout, and I was like, would I recognize Chris Hemsworth? And I was like, no. I was like, really. I think every day I probably could walk by it.
Here would be my basis on if I would recognize them. If the actor is so good that comedians can do impressions of them.
Like Denzel.
Yeah, or just, you know what I mean? If they have a
Okay.
or I mean, any of
Christopher Walken level stuff.
Yeah. Oh God, I tried to do Christopher Walken for so long, I couldn't.
I always because you do like the thing where you're like,
yeah.
But
What a sea here.
It's so bad. Yeah, I can't.
But yeah, I mean, those type actors I could possibly recognize.
Could you talk to?
I mean, I certainly could talk to them.
You'd be able to carry a conversation.
Yeah,
I'm so fucking bad at that.
but then again, I don't know.
To start the conversation,
I don't have
could you
anything
start
to say
the
to them.
conversation?
What do I
know. Well, could you just start the conversation? Because like,
not if we were at Target and I'm coming down the aisle and they're coming down the other, I would probably just give them the nod that, hey, I know who you are. Or I might, if I can think of a bit or like a movie that they
were the bomb and Phantos.
Or like, yeah, just like, hey, appreciated your performance and whatever.
Would you call them Mr. or Mrs.?
Yeah.
I fucking hate that when people say.
I probably wouldn't even say, like, if I saw Steve Buscemi, I'd probably like, hey man, loved Boardwalk Empire and keep rolling. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
ask for
I think
an
that's a
or,
good idea. I remember. I don't know if I've talked about where I met that's the band Flog and Molly.
Aren't they kind of tri-state area band, or are they nationwide?
They're nationwide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they have a cruise. Theme cruises,
right? Yeah,
where you can look them up.
Flog and Molly cruise.
There's a Flog and Molly cruise where like there's like different bands play and stuff like that. But I just looked it up because there was a Jay and Silent Bob cruise. I was like, how fucking much is a Jay and Silent? Like, what do you do?
It's got to be the same price as a normal cruise.
It is.
I would. I
mean, it's actually probably a little bit more. But it's like, what the fuck do you do? Kevin Smith and Jay Muse, like Jay
just
and
so you can hear him say "Snoochie Boochies."
Yeah, like you would want. God, think how much you would fucking hear that.
Oh, all the time.
And
you see T-shirts with it on it.
And you'd watch people. Oh God,
Silent Bob, he looks so weird now that he lost weight.
That he's so skinny now.
Yeah, and he does the jacket over the T-shirt and like cargo shorts or something.
He wears jean shorts.
Yeah. It just looks. I get that's his signature, but it just looks odd.
It looks, and he's bald, and he wears the hat all the time.
I think the hat also. I mean, I don't even know if he's bald. I've never seen him without that.
Yeah, but I'm guessing
like it is his image. So I get that because I wear a hat a lot, but it's the jacket over the T-shirt that does it for me, and it's the oversized jacket. It doesn't even fit him. It's always too big.
Yeah. Do you like? Do you like when people wear the T-shirt, jeans, and jacket?
No.
Because
if you're poor, it makes you look poor, and if you're really rich, it just makes you look like an asshole.
I never understood. Like, I don't think I could jeans and a jacket. Have you ever wore jeans and
No. The only time I've ever wore a suit jacket is matching pants.
Yeah, like people that do that where they're just just throw on a jacket. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it never looks right to me. Joe probably does that.
He would be very offended right now. Sorry, Joe, wherever you are.
I do that all the time.
Jason Mewes. He was so nervous about filming the original, and actually all the movies that he was in. Mm-hmm. And he was so worried about screwing up his lines. He memorized the entire script of everyone's lines.
That's a lot.
That's so fucking impressive.
That's a lot of stuff. Like for like high school plays. When I was in high school plays, having to like memorize lines, like it's hard.
It's so crazily difficult.
Yeah.
And when I was in one play growing up, and I was tree number 3, I think I was might be broccoli. I don't know, but I remember I had a tree, and I had like 3 lines. No, like 3 words, and I think I even fucked them up.
I I was in MASH in high school.
That's a weird high school play because
Yeah,
that's an older crowd.
Yeah, and I was I was a little Korean boy named Hojan.
Pojan?
Hojan was his
Hojan.
name. Yeah, I was a little Korean boy that was like,
Did you try to talk with an Asian accent?
yeah. Of course.
Well, I mean that's the character.
It was the character. You know, it's probably now. I'd fucking get in trouble
You'd
for
be
doing
canceled.
it. Yeah.
You wouldn't be canceled, but the production would be canceled for casting a
That
white
is
guy,
funny. Yeah, that was
you know.
probably racist as shit.
It wouldn't be racist if there was no Asian people to play the role.
I guess.
But if you had 4 Asians in your class, yeah, I could say that. Probably should have went in a different direction.
yeah. I remember and then I was in like I was in Get Smart.
Look at you, the fucking actor.
I was Agent 44. I remember. I was always like the fucking comedy guy, like surprise. So I was always, and I remember one time when we did that play. But I thought it would be funny. Like I had to tuck in my shirt, and I unzipped my zipper and pulled the shirt out of my zipper so it looked like a dick.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I went out on stage with it. It got the biggest.
Did it kill?
Oh, yeah. The best part was my grandma was laughing the hardest out of all that shit. But yeah, it was fucking. So many people were fucking laughing at it. But
People love a good improv.
yeah, they love a good dick joke.
Everybody loves a
even
good
in high
dick.
school, I knew it was a good dick joke. I'll tell you the worst though. I was in some play. I think it was 42nd Street. All right. I was in a lot of plays.
Wow.
Plays in high
I'm
school.
impressed.
It's quite the thespian. In it, I had to pick up a girl off the ground. She wasn't the lightest person in the entire world. I remember I had to go up there and she was like playing dead and like dead weight dead.
Oh.
So it
She
was
wasn't even helping you.
It was like, dude, sweat just dropped. And I knew if like I didn't do it, like everybody was gonna make fun. If I dropped her,
They would make
like,
fun of you and her.
and her,
she would be the one that would take the brunt of it.
yeah. So I don't know. It was like, you know how like people when they're in like a car, like, you know, there's car accident, they see someone trapped underneath the car, they get superhuman strength and can fucking lift up
The mom flipping over a car.
Yeah,
to save her baby.
yeah. Like a mom saving their baby, like just
Right.
by breaking open a safe or something. Yeah, that was me. I picked her up and I carried her off the stage. Like just going up there, and it was, God, it was. I felt so fucking strong, and it was just sweat was pouring out of my face when I got to it. And then she was dead weight the whole time, and then when she got off, she's like, "Thanks, that was pretty easy." And I was like, "Motherfucker,
For you."
I was like, "Gotta go drink fucking a gallon of water." So I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but
Hey, you know.
it's what happens because I was really trying to say, "Would you drink at the Met Gala?" And look where we got.
One thing leads to another.
I know. Know who else had a pretty good time? Jackson Mahomes.
I think I heard he got arrested, but I
Yeah.
don't like that guy. I just kind of just don't care for him, so I
fucking
purposely
hate
just don't read anything. If I see his name, I just skim over it.
He comes up on my TikToks all the time, and I can't. I fucking hate him.
So you rage watch him.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. I just sit there and just watch. I saw the video. He basically, and it's weird because I've seen him do this in other videos where he just grabs a girl and pulls her face to him, and then just like starts making out with him. You know,
Total dick move.
totally, yeah. And
That's such an entitled little
it
bitch.
is. And what makes it worse is that if people don't know who Jackson Mahomes is, he's Patrick Mahomes' brother. So who's the quarterback for the Chiefs?
He's riding the curtails of Pat.
yeah.
Because
That's all he does.
Otherwise, no one would give a shit about him.
Yeah. So when something bad happens to him, I kind of get a little bit I kind of like it. But so he's in this bar and he's talking to like the owner or whatever, and you see him like grab her almost by the throat, like the jaw kind of thing, and pulls her in to kiss him, and then she like pushes him away, and he got fucking charged with.
Oh, so the bar owner was a woman.
Yeah, it was a woman.
And he, Jesus. Oh, good. Finally.
And he got put in jail, and his bail, he had to have $100,000 bond.
Which is nothing to them, but still.
Do you think he paid for it, or do you think his brother
No.
paid for it?
They called fucking brother.
Man, Patrick Mahomes must fucking hate his brother.
I remember because we beat them when they came and played us, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was throwing water on Ravens fans.
The Ravens fans were fucking getting on him,
they were probably going back and forth. But when you lose, you take your ass whooping and you go home.
Have you ever been a dick at
No.
a game to somebody?
No.
I was one time.
Based off of last week's episode with your brother, I find that not hard to believe.
Yeah, true.
Live and let live.
Yeah.
And then if they're an ass to us, then then you kind of have to step up.
Yeah, I try not to. I mean, I don't. Not anymore. But my early 20s, I was definitely a fucking dick.
You had a lot of energy.
Teenage angst.
And angst was the word I was looking for.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know, I probably have talked about it on the podcast, where I threw a beer at a Yankee fan. It was Orioles, Yankees.
I was that a couple years ago?
No.
Because
I might have talked about it on the podcast. I can't remember.
I mean, you got in a fight at the Orioles-Yankees game back in the day. I think your girlfriend at the time dumped a beer.
Oh yeah,
she was the asshole, but the Yankees fans were also being dickheads, and then she dumped a beer on the head over the guy's head because they were sitting in a row in front of us.
Yeah,
and then it started like a little melee.
Yeah, that okay. So there was that time. So that,
but you didn't start that.
I didn't start that one.
You had to just back up your girlfriend.
I had to start shoving people and stuff like that. It was with a whole bunch of people from Verizon too. Which was funny. It was just funny about it. Going back and forth with Yankee fans, where I just was yelling back and forth and threw a beer at them. And
like a can or a cup?
It was a cup.
Oh, okay.
So it was a cup, and
just
it
pissed them off.
Splashed all over them, and then they're getting into it. And the best part about it was all the ushers and everybody comes down, and they're like, "Who threw the beer?" And everybody was fucking quiet. And then I was just like looking down, and then they're like, "You got to go," and I was like, why do I gotta go? I didn't throw no beer. And double negative. But I didn't throw a beer. You're like, yeah, you did. And I was like, who said that? And I turned around, it's fucking all Yankee fans behind me. I didn't pay attention. They all fucking just ratted me out. They threw me out of the back of the stadium.
Like old movie bar style,
yeah, like arms and legs, like whoop, like threw me out of the thing. And then I walked around the front of it. And I talked to the usher, and they let me back into the game.
It was awesome.
It was the coolest. It was the coolest thing. And I called and complained to the Orioles, and they gave me free tickets to another game.
Oh, look at you! That is one of the best unethical life hacks that I've heard.
Yeah,
which is a crazy transition. I wanted to talk about a few unethical life hacks that I read about. If our listening audience has any better
unethical life hacks,
if you definitely do, please let us know on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Inappropriate Top 10 Unethical Life Hacks.
When I was 16, a friend and I created a website with fake reviews of concerts in the Washington, D.C. area that we didn't actually go to. Once we had built it up to our satisfaction, we used it as credentials to gain backstage access to huge D.C. area music festivals 3 years in a row.
They're like concert reviewers?
Yeah, I guess.
Did they get bad reviews, or just as they gave reviews?
They just gave reviews.
I think that's pretty fucking smart.
Yeah, no, that one actually is decent.
I mean, I guess that's kind of like how any movie review, you just start doing movie. I mean, that's what I hope to do on Letterboxd.
Yeah, but they didn't actually go. You actually watched the movies.
Oh.
They were just any concerts that came through, they would just create reviews.
You know what? That's a good hustle. I think
that one's approved. That one's still ethical.
I mean, it's not ethical as a standpoint of probably if you are really a concert person, but I mean, you got to start somewhere. You got to get your foot in the door. Anyway.
My dad would keep an orange vest and an orange flag in his car when we would go to sporting events. After the game, when the lot was full of angry drunk drivers, even getting someone to let you in was a real pain in the ass. My dad would have me or my brother jump out with the vest and flag and stop traffic so he could get in line. Then we would jump back in the car.
That's pretty good.
I think that one's actually more smart than unethical.
Yeah. Because I mean, when you leave those games, it is tough to get in the line. Like usually.
Oh yeah, no one's letting you.
Yeah,
in.
because everybody's like, this one car's. If I let this one car in, it's gonna make me 3 hours extra of my time. So fucking no one. So I think that one. That's a good.
All right, this next one I think would squarely fall into the unethical aspect. Need a new windshield because yours is cracked? Find a gravel hauling company, scope out their truck routes, get behind one, and then claim gravel fell off their truck and damaged your windshield.
It's a fucking lot of work for that.
Yeah, but if you're broke, a new windshield is, what's that, $300? I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you live in a metropolitan area, like here, we could probably go down Route 40 and find someone hauling gravel and just get a number on the side of the truck. But that is definitely extra work.
I mean, really, what you should do is just, I guess that's pretty. That's a lot. I don't really like that. Well, it really, I guess, is, aside from the company, it is a victimless crime because the person that's driving the truck's not going to get in trouble for that. Like, they can't control gravel falling off their truck.
And they probably have insurance that covers a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I feel like it's not really going to hurt any. Like, if it was to the detriment of another person, then kind of I'd be like, I mean, still unethical, but I'm all right with it.
Here's one that I feel like is actually, I would never do it, but I feel it's okay. If you're hungry and it's between 6 and 8 a.m., you can get a free continental breakfast from pretty much any hotel you walk into.
Yeah, that's...
Because most of that food's going to go to waste. And if you're just one person grabbing some eggs or an apple or some cereal...
The first time I learned about that is on this movie called The Florida Project, where it's like people that live outside of Disney and like hotels for like... They'll go into a nicer Disney resort and then just sit there and just say a random number for their room. I'm good. That's kind of shitty, but...
I saw
agree
something
they
else
throw
the other
food
day.
away.
I occasionally get the people who live in their RVs, or tiny mobile house, and
I think they're
a lot
coolest
of
people in the fucking world.
It is appealing to a certain degree, but this lady was kind of showing the cringier side of it, the stuff that you don't, it's not like all scenic views and bare feet sticking out the back of with your grill and the dog in the background.
Yeah.
But she sleeps in parking lots, and it's called getting the knock, and that's where like security or someone knocks on at like 2-3 a.m. and it's like, hey, you got to get the hell out of here. But anyway, she was like, I want a warm shower today. So a lot of them have memberships to Planet Fitness because they're open 24 hours, and it's like $10 a month. And you can go in there any time of the day and get a hot shower, or if you need to go to the restroom or anything like that.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No, that's because you're paying a membership.
Yeah, you are.
That actually isn't on this list, but I just saw it kind of reminded me of like little life hacks that probably you don't know until, I guess, if you're doing the RV truck life or whatever. If your girlfriend has an annoying friend you want her to stop being friends with, just start casually mentioning how pretty she is.
Dude, that's fucking funny.
That's risking a lot, but I think that probably works.
Yeah, you probably cause yourself a lot of pain.
Yeah,
like,
so you gotta know how far you're willing to go.
Yeah. That's a ballsy one though.
Here's one I think is scummy. If you ever go to a country concert, wear something that implies you are in the military. You won't pay for a drink the whole night.
Oh, fuck that. You don't do that. That's a no.
That's a huge, that's a dick. That's a dick times 2 move.
Yeah. And
if you get called out, you're
stolen valor.
Yeah.
You don't want to get fucking called out for stolen valor. I watch those videos on YouTube.
You will get canceled.
Dude, they don't.
Especially if you don't know much about, because I don't know much about, like if somebody wants to, hey, what infantry or what, you start talking about
and
specifics.
That's what happens. That's all
they can call you out quick, 100% within 5 seconds of talking to me that I have never been in the military.
Yep. And in those stolen valor videos, like if they have their patch on like the wrong spot, like to get fucking caught
Right.
out on it. And it's like on their arm, but it's at the wrong spot. I try to get a military discounts by saying my grandfathers were in the military.
Were they? Well, yeah.
Yeah, they really were.
Everyone's grandfather has been in the military.
I know that's all it ever was, but it doesn't work.
Here's a shitty one. If you're looking to buy a car, search the obituary for a phone number and call. They could be looking to liquidate their assets quickly and sell cheap.
I mean, that's a hustle. Like,
I mean, that's dirty.
it'll work. I bet you that works.
And here's something every one of our listeners, including everyone in this room, has done one time. Every single person,
How about Joe? Do you think Joe did it?
100%.
All right.
Everybody has done this. You lie about your kid's age at an amusement park or a movie or a buffet to get the cheaper price.
Oh, I've always done that.
Everyone has done it. And I that's why I also think the businesses know that, which is why they set the age at like 6 or under, because you might be able to get away with it for like 7 and 8. So instead of setting it at 8 like they would have gone to initially, they just set it at 6, knowing by people are going to lie probably about 2 years. But by 9, you're not looking like a 6-year-old.
Do you think anyone in history? I mean, I'm sure it's probably happened in the history of people to. If you worked at any of those, like you worked in a movie theater and they said my kid's 5,
they don't care.
Are you ever going to question it?
You're a basic wage person. What is this, the hill you're going to die on today? You know what I mean? To like ruin somebody elce's
that
$3
fucking
off ticket.
That fucking kid's not. It'd be like that fucking kid's not
Right.
3. I do the birthday one too. I always say it's their birthday.
Oh, I've never done that. That's weird.
You've never done that?
Hell no.
Oh, at Great Wolf Lodge, if you say it's your kid's birthday, they give you like a wristband. They give them a wristband so they can have like unlimited ice cream for the weekend.
Huh. I mean,
So
I still wouldn't do it. I don't want my kids to have unlimited ice cream. That's more work
that
for me.
means you get unlimited ice cream too.
I can eat ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess that's kind of shitty. Yeah.
All right, last one. If any of our listeners have ever done this, just tap out. We don't want you here at Inappropriate because it's too much
You're too
inappropriateness.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
Want to steal something in a secure building? Buy a wheelchair and put crap on your lap, and the cardboard boxes for paper reams work well and can be gotten for free. Roll up to the door behind someone and they'll hold the door for you. No need.
That's fucking stealing.
It's straight stealing. And then posing as a handicapped person to steal a couple reams of paper. Jesus.
They're like,
How big of a piece of shit can you be?
I know, they're fucking.
Worse if they had a military badge on the side of their...
They're Kevin Spacey and Usual Suspects level.
Jeez. God. I can't believe somebody would do that, let alone the audacity to say that they've done that.
Yeah, I know. Like that's a lot of fucking work for that.
Well, they just got too inappropriate for the Inappropriate podcast.
I guess they did.
We appreciate everybody hanging out with us for yet one more week of Inappropriate. Who knows? Maybe next week we might have a special guest. Joe might be back.
Jim Joe Steve show may be back in full force next week.
Don't hold your breath.
We'll see.
But in the meantime, check out our shorts at Jim Joe Steve Podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter if you're froggy like that. But Facebook is also a good spot. Maybe Instagram. I don't know. Do you update Instagram, Steve?
I haven't.
So
Jim does all of this.
If you visit our Instagram page, you would probably visit it more times than Steve has.
No, well, probably lately. Yes, I gotta put some pictures on there. So,
but yeah, check us out on YouTube and maybe
please comment on the YouTube ones because they're awesome.
Yeah, I think they're top notch, barstool quality.
Yeah.
856 the JJSS for Inappropriate. I'm Jim.
I'm Steve. See you next time.